Hello everyone, myself Jaya Karwal, Assistant Professor Political Science from SPCGC Ashmir. I welcome you all in this video. Today we are going to study about the restoration of parliamentary system. So this is paper second or B part second, and let's start. Uh, it is not the system itself which is responsible for its failure, but the people are themselves. Dr. Ambedkar's view is very much relevant in this context, that it is not the constitution which is wrong but the leadership. So the presidential system does not offer a better alternative. Rather, the present parliamentary system requires some remedial measures for restoring balance between parliament and the executive. First, the authoritarian tendency can be checked to some extent if the Prime Minister is elected directly instead of being appointed by virtue of the leader of the majority party. But this method would lead to the violation of the basic structure of the parliamentary form of government, and it is not also feasible in a vast electorate like India. It would pose as a financial burden for the people of India, so the appointment of the Prime Minister should be as it is, but the selection process should be modified. The notion of a personality cult must be abolished, as it creates uh, many problems in the democratic process and undermines the free voting process as well. The Prime Minister's election is a party affair, and he or she should be elected by electoral colleges consisting of all the chief ministers belonging to the majority party, the party MPs, the elected party executive members, and party's state presidents. The members of the parliament should be elected through proportional representation instead of elected directly, for avoiding a party capturing majority seats with minority votes. In different Lok Sabha elections, it has been observed that a candidate with less than 50% of the votes polled gets elected because of a number of candidates in the electoral fray. So this method would be appropriate for proper representation of the people and the distribution of the seats to different parties in parliament according to the percentage of votes secured. The method would also lead to the minimization of the number of political parties, which create havoc in the Indian political system. There must be a minimum academic qualification prescribed to enable a citizen to contest for the membership of the parliament. Educated members are generally politically conscious and responsible, though sometimes educated members violate the rules and the procedures at the parliament. Education does not have some valve. The educated member can discuss, participate, and understand and the proceedings of the parliament better than the illiterate one. A bill should be enacted with the provision of right to recall in order to make the members more responsible and more responsive. As the people have right to vote, they have also the right to recall a candidate if the candidate fails to represent the will of the people of his constituency and fulfill their demands. The recall proceedings may be initiated by the convention of the panchayat members of the constituency, and if the majority members resolve to recall MLA or MP, then the voters will be asked to indicate their decision on a ballot. Though a command model is necessary for maintaining discipline and unity in a party, a secret ballot should be introduced for members of the ruling party in respect of policy formation, so that every member can give their views for the formation of any policy. Due to faulty procedures of political recruitment, there has been a constant decline in the quality of leadership. So, leadership recruitment must be adopted by means of certain fixed rules and regulations and rest upon public confidence. The minimum duration and experience of the party workers and their substantial contribution to the party work should be prescribed, and party offices and tickets be issued accordingly. There is need for electoral reforms for ensuring free and fair elections. There should be some provisions in the laws of election for compulsory voting for all eligible voting members, and parties securing less than 10% of the votes polled should be de-recognized. The statutory limitation placed on election expenditures of the political parties and should be investigated by the election commission. It should be made compulsory for political parties to have their income and election expenditures audited. The Election Commission should have its branches in the states working directly under the Commission, and the power to call for elections should be vested in the Election Commission and not in the head of the state. It is further necessary that an anti-defection bill should be passed as early as possible. In case of split inside one party over a particular issue, it will not be a case of defection, but when a member defected being elected under one particular party ticket make alliance with another party after the election, it shall be called defection. In this case, the member should be suspended from the membership of the parliament and be required to seek for re-election. By this law, political corruption and instability can be checked to some extent, though not completely. Again, parliamentary control over the executive must be made effective. The members of the parliament should properly utilize the intersession period, as the every minute of parliament session costs too much. The most important part of the parliament is sitting in the question hour and the 0 hour that follows it, and this is the portion that is in the greatest need for reform, as parliamentary appellations and other procedures are not up to mark. Today, generally, there are too many questions and the allotted time is not enough to dispose of all queries, though the issues involved may be of high public importance. Half an hour's discussion is also introduced to throw light on the lapse or acts of commission or omission of the executive. This discussion can be raised on a matter of public importance which also cannot be answered properly for want of time or other reasons. For this, the session of the parliament should be of longer duration. There should be more parliamentary committees. Though committees are ineffective bodies, the real life of legislature lies in the committee. A detailed scrutiny of the proceedings cannot be carried on by a large number of members of parliament. Expect a committee having some technical persons. And all the above suggestions can be implemented successfully if the political attitudes and the moral character of the people of India can be changed. They must have a sense of patriotism and self-sacrifice. They must have a high degree of political consciousness and belief in the norms or fundamental institutions and processes of the political system. So that's all for today from my side. Thank you very much.